Almost all veterans have been in the same situation. If you've played the game for more than a year, you know what's coming. Why do we play this shit game? Personally, I've been playing this game since Operation Burnt Horizon, which was in March of 2019, which was back in Year 4 Season 1, about 4.5 years ago. I constantly ask this question to myself and have simply found no answer, but by the end of this video, there will be an answer. 6th grade. I get to school and my friends are talking about this game they just found out about. It was by no means new, but they spoke very highly of it. The problem for me was I played on PlayStation and all my friends played on Xbox, so I downloaded the game and we would spend the whole weekend at one of our friends' house to play together. We would play until about 6 in the morning, then went to sleep, woke up at around 7 and kept playing. The game brought my friend group closer, and even though we were not competitive at the time, we all had that drive to be the greatest in our young hearts. Fast forward to Christmas of 2019, I had basically begged my dad for an Xbox so I could play with my friends online. We could play whenever and wherever, it was perfect. My dad got me the Xbox One S, and just after that, my best friend moved out of state. It tore our friend group apart, and then even worse, COVID hit schools at large in March of 2020. Online school was now a mandatory course of action for every school in the nation. However, my friends and I didn't care. We would squat up with our friend who moved away, mute our mics, turn our cameras off, and play Siege for hours. This was also around the time all of us got fairly competitive at the game. We would waste our hours of daylight playing ranked trying to be the best. We had all hit platinum and thought we were the shit. Early in the year, the new Road to the 6 Invitational event had launched and blasted our menu screens with colors and paintings of operators. The 5 of us were intrigued, so we began playing this new game mode. Then we found out what the 6 Invitational was, and we had to tune in. This event brings me to my first point of this video. At the time, Rainbow Six Siege was in the top 3 for the most competitive esports leagues, and in 2020, the two best Rainbow Six teams faced off, Space Station Gaming versus Ninjas in Pajamas. It would be a tough battle from the start, and I had to watch it to gain an edge on tactics against the stupid Platinums I was facing. At the time, Space Station Gaming was easily the best team in Rainbow Six Pro League without a question. Their entire roster was brilliant, bringing every team fear to even play one game against them. The deadly SSG roam was plaguing the competitive scene and leaving teams frustrated. SSG won after a long, tough battle, and this was peak Pro League. This was also the year the world's greatest player, Jason Bolo Doty, would join TSM Rainbow Six. Over the next 4 years of me playing, I would have called myself a diehard TSM fan, with Bolo being my favorite player and role model, until the eventual downfall of TSM after Bolo's retirement, which is still fresh on some of our minds. In March of 2023, ESL Rainbow Six Esports would change to Blast R6, and that led to the eventual downfall of Rainbow Six Esports. The Pro League scene for Siege has never looked worse, with veteran players including Bolo, Achieved, Hyper, Chala, Laxing, and many more being forced to retire. Most of them are legends in the Rainbow Six community and will never be forgotten for what they did to the game. Blast R6 doesn't get as many viewers and doesn't make as much money because some of the best players are being forced to retire due to the new way of the league. The next point of this video is the cheating situation. While I haven't played Siege on PC a whole lot, not enough to experience a blatant cheater, I have been playing on console for 4 years. To experience a mouse and keyboard player on console, you could hop on now, get in Gold Plus lobbies and find at least one, and God have mercy on your soul if you're an Emerald, Diamond, or Champion. Ubisoft has attempted to fix the situation by introducing Mousetrap, which made it so that whenever they moved their mouse, it would feel more like a controller rather than the snappy aim of a mouse. It worked for about a month until an exploit was found where players could leave right before the end scene played, and Ubisoft quote-unquote fixed this issue, even though they really did absolutely nothing. I will not go into my solution to fix the game. That would be a separate video of mine because this video would be way too long. However, Mousetrap has done almost nothing to the mouse and keyboard population of Rainbow Six Siege and has only fueled the fire for more criticisms and memes against Ubisoft. The next point of this video is the lack of content in Siege. The lack of content coming from Ubisoft has become unbearable. In the old days, I don't mean that as a joke, but back when I started playing the game, we got a defender, an attacker, and sometimes a new map. This stopped happening in Operation Shadow Legacy, the operation that added Zero to the game. Operators now are often lackluster and reuse a lot of the same guns as older operators. Take Grim for example. He's one of the least picked operators in the game because even after a huge buff, Grim still sucks. He has no good guns to make up for his shitty gadget. On the other side of Grim, there's Fenrir, where his gadget is very good and his guns, even though they are reused, are still good. Then there's Sense, where her gadget is not very useful. They gave her a new gun at least, but it still sucks. Then they added Thorn, where her gadget is decent and her gun was already good enough, but now that it has a 1.5, it's even better. Adding new operators like Thorn with a new gun, a creative gadget, and a reason to use them can only help Siege in the long run. Let's not forget about night maps. I would not leave night maps out of this video. Night maps were the best part of Siege. It felt so unique to have a day and night operation. Even though every situation in Rainbow is different, no matter what, the night maps made you feel like you were in an overall new situation. Like there was a story behind the operation you were going on. Ubisoft removed night maps in Operation Ember Rise, about a year after I started playing Rainbow Six Siege. Let's take a moment to salute them all. Operation Demon Veil brought the addition of Team Deathmatch, a casual game mode where you can have some fun and practice your mechanical skills. I can say I still use this game mode to warm up. Team Deathmatch looked like a good change at first, but little did we know it would start the most scrutinizing meta in Rainbow Six Siege. The Gunfight Meta. Almost no gadgets are needed now because everything in Siege is all based on mechanical skill. In the current state of Siege, operators are only being chosen for their weapons. Operators like Ace, Thorn, Jaeger, Ashe, Yana, Mute, Mozzie, Azami, Warden, Nook, Ying, Buck, Twitch, and Bandit are all victims of this horrendous meta. These are some of the top picked operators because of their good guns, but picked with little use of utility in mind. This is a dumpster fire of a meta, and I dare say worse than the LMG meta. Speaking of dumpster fires, let's talk about Rank 2.0. You guys knew it was coming. In Rank 2.0, little game sense is needed to hit a decent rank, and queuing with teammates has no impact on the opponents you face. Your hidden MMR will always be a burden to you, and while we have no way of knowing exactly what that hidden MMR is, we know that if you are getting put in lobbies with Emeralds, Diamonds, and Champs, then your hidden rank is somewhere in that range. Same thing goes for every rank. The main thing that pisses me off about this system is that we have no way of knowing what our hidden MMR is. I would love to know this value so I know what I'm getting into, and especially after rank 2.0, I would love to know my actual rank because your rank no longer has real value. Anybody can get above platinum with enough time and enough matches, so why not give us our true skill ranking so we have something to go off of? I could go on and on about 100 different reasons on why Rainbow Six Siege is a shit game, but I'll save those reasons to myself. Or I might make a part 2 of this video. But I do like to give credit where credit is due, so Ubisoft, good job on fixing the DDoSing of servers and players at least for the most part. And good job for at least putting in the effort to stop M&K on console. I think if a company makes an effort to stop something, it's at least a step in the right direction, and some good may come from it. Effort is always a good sign. Ask any sports coach or teacher on how important effort is. Will I stop playing this game? The chances of me stopping this game are slim to none as of now. Even though I hate a lot about the game, I love to stay optimistic of what's to come. Will Ubisoft fix some of these issues? Probably at some point, but as of now, the game is dry and not fun. I'm taking a massive break from the game, only playing maybe an hour or two with friends after work or something like that. But other than that, I have no desire to play Rainbow Six Siege until some issues are fixed or better content is added. Reverting some old changes would really save this game and give it a shot to be one of the most fun games that can be played. If Ubisoft continues doing what they're doing, Rainbow Six will die for a second time, and this time there's no Jinxie to save it. In my opinion, Siege is falling down faster and faster, especially on console. I know plenty of people who have uninstalled Siege and never turned back, and at this point I'm seriously considering doing it as well. Ubisoft needs to change something, and whether it's adding a new event, something like Old Siege with Ash and Jaeger ACOG, or even back to year one where it all started, so that everybody can experience what it was like back then. Changes like an old event in Siege will cater to the older players and are only going to help Ubisoft. However, the question is, what is wrong with Siege? It is the title after all, and to be completely honest, I believe that the points I touched on are the main problems, or at least the ones I hate the most. Is there another problem? The answer is that everybody's opinion is different. Some may like new changes and hate the old game. Whatever you hate about the game is your answer to what is wrong with Siege. But all in all, something needs to be changed about Siege, and if it's not fixed soon, then it may become a serious problem for Ubisoft.